Hello YouTube, this is Outlaw Killer. Maybe a worm deck. They're actually a lot of fun. They have potential to be top tier. I'm not saying they are top tier, but they have the potential to be top tier because they work fairly well. So yeah, maybe a build. Tell me what you think. To start off, in any worm build, you gotta have your triple Zex. Zex is an amazing card. It's an 18 beater, 1000 defense. Its effect is when he gets normal summon, you get to throw a worm from your deck to the graveyard, which might not sound really good, but it works extremely well with the following card. You got your triple worm Yagan. Yagan's effect is when he's in the graveyard and the only monster you control is a worm Zex, you get to special summon it and face down defense. When he gets flipped face up, you bounce a card or you bounce a monster your opponent controls, which is really, really good. Especially since, you get to just special it from the graveyard, no cost whatsoever. The only cost is that you have to have your worm face out, and that's the only monster you can control. The downside of this card is that when he gets removed from the field, he gets removed from play. But if you recycle it with W Meteorite, it actually just goes to the graveyard. You get to flip it down and put it back face up, and then it goes out of the field. The secondary effect is that if you have Worm Zex face up on the field, along with this card, Worm Zex cannot be destroyed by battle. So it's actually really, really good. Next we got your double Worm King. Worm King works as a descendant. You tribute a one reptile worm monster to pop a card your opponent controls, which is really, really good. You also got your Worm Kataros. Kataros is just a searcher. It's a flip effect. When it gets flipped face up, search for a level 4 or lower worm from your deck to your hand. Just helps speed the deck up a little bit. Next you got your Worm Victory. Worm Victory works as a beat stick. He gains 500 attack for each worm in your graveyard. And keep in mind that it's not a worm with a different name in your graveyard. It's each worm. So you have multiple copies, you can gain 500 for each one. And the other effect is when he gets flipped face up, you destroy every monster on the field except one monster. So it's very, very good. That's it for the worm lineup. For your other monsters, you got your double Anada Dragon, Evil Anada Dragon. Both of his effects are fairly well. He works as a beat stick. When you special summon it, the only way to do summon is to special summon it. You remove every reptile on your graveyard and field from play, and he gains 600 attack for each. Biggest attack and defense for each removed from play. And at the end phase of each turn, you destroy one card on the field. It does not have to be yours. It can be your opponent's field. So even if you just started the game out and you draw this, it does not have to be a bad card. You can maybe just, get your Kataros, search, then you remove your Kataros to special. At the end phase, pop your opponent's back row, pop your opponent's monsters, just getting in the way. Even though if you just 600 attack or defense, just special and defense, pop a card at no cost. Your Kataros does not need to be in the graveyard at all. Next, you got your triple ally Birdman. You may think, why run a Birdman in this deck? It's got nothing to do with anything. It's a tuner that just bounces, and I will show you exactly why it's extremely good in this deck. We also got your two Veilers to stop your opponent a little bit, and one Honest. As you can see, all the worm monsters are light. If you're dueling someone else, you drop an no one's going to be expecting you to run an Honest, a worm deck. No one's really expecting it. So Honest surprises everyone. Everyone's just swinging, That's it for the monster lineup. For the trap lineup, we have triple W Nebula Meteorite. This is the card that speeds the deck up and makes the deck so good. When you activate it, you flip all face-down monsters on the field in face-up defense position. So every monster gets flipped face up. A lot of worms have flip effects, so they go off. Next, at the end phase, you flip every reptile monster, every worm monster, back face down. You draw a card for each one, so it's got drawing power, and you special summon a level 7 or higher worm from your deck. So it's got recycling power because you recycle your Yagan, so it does not get removed. You got drawing power, and you special summon from your deck. So this card is incredibly good. Why it came as a common, I have no clue. But it's one really good card. Next, we have a double Deep Prison to stop fuck your opponent. We also got double Bottomless to stop fucking your opponent. Double Fiendish Chain. We got 2 Veilers and 2 Finished Chains, so your opponent is really not going anywhere, especially with the Deep Prisons and Bottomless. I don't care if you got your Heavy Storm, I'm not going to set 2 fucking Finished Chains on one turn. We also got double 7 tools to stop your opponent from warning you, because if you get Solemn Warning in one turn, then the worms are going to slow down a lot. So you need your 7 tools. Then we got your staples, you got your Mirror Force, Solemn Judgment, Torrential, and I'm running one called the Haunted, just to an extra pop-in thing for your worm or whatever. That's it for the trap lineup, kind of a big lineup. For your spell lineup, we got 1 Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 H-Hole, and 1 Book of Moon, which I feel are just staples for every deck right now. Your double MST, and your double Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality just really speeds the deck up, and it keeps consistency a lot in this build. For your side deck, we got 2 Gen X Ally Triforce. This is the reason why you run your Birdman. This card's incredibly good. It's level 7, and all the worms are mainly level 4s. So with Birdman, that makes an instant 7. His effect depends on what the non-tuner attribute monster was used. If you use the light, which all the worms are, once per turn you get to special summon a light monster from your graveyard in face down defense position. A lot of worms have flip face up, so you get to special your worm Victory, if you will, to pop everything. Of course, he will pop your own Triforce, but he will be incredibly huge and will pop everything your opponent controls. Or you just keep a cycling your king or whatever. We also got 1 Trish, 1 Black Rose, 1 Spark Fiend, Utopia, and a Zion Master to try to keep flipping your shit face down. As you can see, the side deck is not incredibly big because we're only running 5 tuners. 5 tuners you may think it's a lot, but Veiler you should just go to the graveyard, and your Birdman is just used for your Triforce mainly. So the other cards are just trying them out. So yeah, that's the build. Tell me what you think, YouTube. Thank you. We also like to send a shout out to Psyshade, P-S-I-S-H-A-D-E. I'll leave a link in my description. He's got a lot of cool videos. He's got some Duvits. He's got some deck profiles, some of Duvits, including myself. I'm going to try to get some Duvits with the worms so you can see him in playstyle as well as my Twilight. I think he's got some Duvits with my own Fable as well. We're good friends. We also let's send a shout out to Gemology 4. He's part of our team, Team Devastation. That's Gemology 4. He's got also a lot of cool deck profiles and some Duvits going on. And Team Dark Core. He's got a lot of cool videos. So go check those guys out and tell me what you think of my build and what I need to work on and what I should take out and put back in. And that's it.